Hello everybody, my name is MIV, but you can just call me Miv. And today I'm going to be going over some of the new things that we have been allowed to see with Halo Infinite. So the first thing that we have is an official cosplay guide for the Mark 7. I want to say that's Mark 7. But basically what this is just a PDF of basically all the views that you can get of this, what I'm guessing will be our default Spartan. I really have nothing to complain about this. This is for the cosplayers that want to make their own suit, and it looks very nice as seen by this picture here. It just looks clean, I have to admit. This is just, again, another picture that they want to show us just to make sure that we know what the helmet looks like and stuff like that. And of course, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go check this out for yourself. I'm not really that big into trying to make Halo cosplays. I mean, I've made a helmet, but other than that, nothing too big. So right here what we have is a little bit of lore about Sergeant Agrina. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. To guide you through your early days in the process, you'll be meeting Lorette Agrina, Spartan Academy Commander. As we have shown over in glimpses over the last few years, the Master Chief and other UNSC forces have embarked on a daring mission to stop Cortana's efforts to bring a cold and unforgiving order to the galaxy. With the Chief and the other heroes occupied both at Zeta Halo and elsewhere across the galaxy, the need to train and prepare a new generation of Spartan super soldiers has fallen on the very capable shoulders of Spartan Agrina, who is no stranger to what it means to have heroes that can be relied on. After enduring many challenges of her own, she's now the one helping give others new chances to make a difference. And I have to admit, of what I've seen so far of this Spartan, I don't know if she's going to be replacing, what's her name, Spartan Palmer? Hopefully she does, because of evidence of me literally stuttering over Palmer's name, she's not very well remembered at all. And after that, what we have is a little bit of lore around the armor. What it says right here is armor applications. Speaking of new tools at your disposal, let's take a look at some of the new armor elements we've showcased, with each of the helmets below as part of the new MK7 armor core. So what we've got first is Aviator. The manufacturer is Hannibal Weapons Systems. The Aviator helmet is tailored for use by cybernetically augmented aerospace pilots. Among its many features is a high bandwidth machine interlink configured to operate seamlessly with next-gen neural interlaces. And of course, this thing just looks sick. This thing honestly looks amazing. Considering the last iteration of the Aviator armor set, this Aviator armor set looks so much better. Of course, I don't know if the armor itself is Aviator, but I do know the helmet is. And the helmet just looks so much better. It still does look like a motorcycle helmet. At the end of the day, Aviator's just going to look like a motorcycle helmet, because that's just the way it is. However, it just looks better in Halo Infinite. It feels and looks more Halo than it did in Halo 5 and I think Halo 4. I can't remember if it was in Halo 4, but it looks a lot better here. The next armor set that we have is Zvezda? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's manufactured by the RKD Group. The Zvezda faceplate incorporates a programmable phased array antenna grid, though leveraging its full capabilities has proven to be a challenge for software developers. And I have to admit, at the end of the day, I'm somebody that grew up on Reach, and I'm very well accustomed to the EVA helmet. I don't want to try to downplay this helmet in any way because it looks absolutely amazing. Do not get me wrong. It just kind of looks like an EVA ripoff. Maybe I'm not the only one that's seeing that, but hopefully this isn't what they're trying to do to make EVA into, which I don't think it is, because I think I do remember seeing something else of the original EVA from Halo Reach. Of course I do know that there's others besides that one, but the EVA from Halo Reach just looks better in my opinion. However, this helmet does look really nice. Don't get me wrong, this helmet does look really, really nice, and I can't wait to see it in game. Alright, so the next armor set that we have is Soldier, and I have to admit, just by this first little image that we've got here of Soldier, it looks so much better than what Halo 4 and Halo 5 did. This actually looks like a armor set that you would see whenever someone says Halo. I just did not really like the beginning designs that they've had for this armor set, and I have to admit, with the Halo Infinite one, it just looks so much better. The redesign just looks more sleek. It looks more like a retro fruit. I'm guessing that's what I'm trying to say. Retro futuristic armor set. And plus that camo just looks sick. That camo on it just sells the look, and it's something that we have not seen in Halo, I don't think ever. Like this kind of camo I don't think we've ever seen in Halo, and it just looks so clean. For the lore, of course, the name of this armor set is Soldier, and it's manufactured by the Materials Group. The latest iteration of the Soldier helmet features a new revision of Material Group's Combat Catalyst firmware. The Fire Team synchronization features remain unfinished, but Dr. Halsey's interest may accelerate development. Now, that little bit, Dr. Halsey's interest, that's just a really nice way to tie some of these armors into lore, especially this Soldier armor set, and I wouldn't be surprised if if we ever have like DLC or something like that, if we got a Soldier or like another Spartan that helps us across our way that looks like this, I wouldn't be mad at. Honestly, it looks sick, and I cannot wait to see it in gameplay. And the next little bit under that image that we see, the text says, and of course, there are always additional attachments and items that Spartans can leverage to optimize their presence on any battlefield. Take the Spartan below, for example, outfitted in the best color, orange. Of course, that's subjective, but it is what it is. Equipped with elements such as the Mark 7 with UA armament, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, helmet attachment, AAP ordnance pack, UA Viator. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but if I'm not, please forget my butchering of this word. Shoulder pad, there we go, and transhumeral prosthesis. And hey, that S7 sniper rifle isn't too shabby either. My speech is gone today. I don't know what's going on. But, they use big words. They're using big words and my tiny brain can't process. But, this armor set right here. Let's take a good look at this. This, if somebody were to show this to me, like, say, 3 years ago, if someone were to show this image, just this image to me, automatically I'd be able to tell, oh hey, that's Halo. Of course, back then I would have thought this would have been fan-made, but this looks sick. Like, honestly, these armors, what they've done, 343, what they've done so far with, like, the armors and the prosthetics and that kind of stuff, honestly, feels so Halo, and I'm just so happy to see all of this just kind of return to form. And you know what's funny? It's crazy how the moment that they make a game, that 343 makes a game that caters to the old Halo fans, the moment they do that, all of a sudden, Halo's trending on YouTube, #1 game on YouTube, Halo's trending. Even people from other games are asking for things like Apex and Fortnite to switch their Battle Pass system to the Battle Pass system that Halo Infinite's gonna have. We're back to setting trends, and I feel like this is going to be just a, if not a golden age, a very high place for Halo in the future. I've got a feeling that Halo Infinite is going to be the game that Halo fans across the board have been waiting for such a long time. And I'm honestly happy that 343 has finally gotten what Halo is. And of course, I'm speaking in more of just guessing, mainly because of the fact that I have not played the game yet. Nobody has, outside the 343 staff, has played Halo Infinite yet. And of course, as soon as Halo Infinite's beta comes out, I'll be playing that here. If I get invited to. Hopefully I will. That would be nice. I would enjoy being invited to a Halo Infinite flight, that would be amazing. And of course, I'd love to record that and show everybody here, which would be absolutely amazing. I'd love to show that. Now we're getting into the lore of the weaponry, and this first little thing, this skewer. Can we all just thank 343 for a second here? Because look at this weapon. This weapon looks so awesome. And the fact is that, like, in this image, you would think that they'd be holding it kind of like hip fire, right? Because that's just the way that this weapon is kind of designed. But then you look at it in gameplay and realize, oh, this thing's a lot bigger than I thought. But anyways, to the lore of this, of course, the name of this weapon, this wonderful weapon, is Skewer. And here's the lore to it. It's Jirohane. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I should probably look this up, but I'm not going to because I'm lazy. But hopefully I pronounced that correctly. All the like Halo lore and aficionados. Is that the way they pronounce that? I'm destroying pronunciations today. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, back to the lore. It's Jirohane design originating from before their alliance with the Covenant. The Skewer is an anti-tank spike cannon used by banished packs for anti-personnel tasks. The massive sharpened projectile is devastating, more than a match for titanium alloy armor at range, but reloading is a difficult task. With a spike that big, I would imagine that thing would be difficult to load. For a brute, maybe not so much, because brutes are built like tanks. Those guys are huge. But for a Spartan, I'd imagine loading that big old sharpened spear into that would be very difficult. And I've got a feeling that, like, in gameplay, it's going to take a little while to reload. So I can't wait to see how this thing works in gameplay, like, and in actual, like, gameplay, not something that they've planned ahead of time, that kind of stuff. Of course, the next gun that we have is the VK-78 Commando. Now, first glance, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really that much of a fan of this gun, mainly because it kind of looks Call of Duty to me. Like, the first time I looked at this gun, I thought, what is the Call of Duty gun doing in Halo? Because it just doesn't look Halo to me. It doesn't have that kind of Halo-esque design. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of this gun, but I can see why some people would like the design of this. I'm just not a big fan of it. But the lore on it is it's manufactured. But the lore on this is that it's manufactured by how do I pronounce that? Vakara Jezim B.H. I don't know how to pronounce that. VK-78 Commandos were selected by the CMA Frontier Forces to replace their antiquated stocks of HMG-38s in 2495. Oh, so this is back whenever the insurrection was happening. Oh, so that's why it looks like that. Okay. From a lore perspective, this makes sense of why it looks like this. But at the same time, I mean, it doesn't exactly look Halo, but I could warm up to it. I can warm up to it. Now getting on to the vehicles. First off, we've got the banished Banshee, and I have to admit, this design looks like something a brute would make. This looks like some brute took a Banshee. This design right here looks like a brute just took a Banshee, said, I want to modify this, and then the hierarchies, I don't know, the big guys up there in the brute forces said, hey, I like that design, let's mass produce this. Like, this looks like something a brute would make because of the fact of just how bulky it is in the front, but not so much in the back. The name of this vehicle is an attack flyer, and I can't actually imagine a brute really naming a Banshee anything else. It's very rudimentary, but it works. The lore on it says that the Banshees that dominate the local banished occupation fleet have been thoroughly optimized to increase armor and combat durability, but also to maintain the base chassis core performance aptitude. So in other words, this is a Banshee that might actually move a little bit slower than the regular Banshee, but has a better overall durability. It can take more hits. Back to the lore of this chopper, it's made by the Bolroiki Workshop, and it's called an attack bike. Again, something a brute would call this thing. I mean, I can just imagine a brute just going by, oh, Nice attack bike. Like this honestly, some of the names that they give these things is just like, you could tell a brute in his small-headedness would think, oh, attack bike, good. The shared knowledge of 6 desperate clans contributed to the refined and imposing chopper design that now permeates the banished ranks. Its raw firepower and visceral locomotion provides their forces with a perfect tool for both breaching and demoralizing any enemy presence. I'm not gonna lie, if I saw that thing coming at me about like 80 miles an hour, and it's just a whole bunch of blades, it's literally like, you look at it the front way and it's just a whole bunch of blades with 2 guns attached to the side blades. You see that thing barreling at you at 80, 90 miles an hour, just straight dead at you. There ain't no way you keeping calm, unless you're Master Chief or somebody like that. There's no way you're keeping calm in that situation. I wouldn't. I would freak out, especially because that thing's supposed to be just absolutely huge. Okay, so the next vehicle that we have is the Ghost. It's made by the Rikta Workshop and it's called a Scout bike. I'm just gonna admit, some of the names that they're giving this is just like, okay, this is some of the names like Riuctda. How in the world is the normal person supposed to be able to pronounce that correctly? How? There's no way. Anyways, the lore on it is, the Ghost has proven to be as versatile a mainstay in the banished garages as it was within the Covenant. This particular iteration focuses on forward armor while also providing enhanced firepower. Again, the brutish design of this makes you think, you can see a brute making this. You can see the brute design in this. You can tell a brute sat down and thought, let's put more metal on it. Honestly. Like, the majority of the brute designs is taking Covenant designs and slapping more metal on the front of it. Bigger guns on the front, slap some more metal on the front, you're good. The back end, no armor whatsoever. Doesn't need it. And I got a feeling that in gameplay it's going to work more of the back end's going to be easier to take out than the front, because the front's more armored and the back is just kind of left vulnerable. So that's going to be interesting to see in gameplay as well. The next vehicle that we have is the Wasp. Now this is something that was introduced into Halo 5. We never saw it in the story, in the campaign. But the fact that we might be able to see it in the campaign later on is interesting. This was first introduced in Halo 5's, I think just introduced just for people to play around with, just to see if anybody liked it. And quite a good few people liked it. And I have to admit, lore-wise, it really does make sense because of the fact that it's just so compact and it doesn't make as much noise as a big ship would. I can understand why they made this, and from a lore perspective, it makes sense. And the design of it isn't bad. Like I can see this in the Halo universe. I can see this being something from the Halo universe. So the lore on this is the AV-49 Attack VTOL. Fast to produce and easy to maintain and optimize, the AV-49 has seen increased widespread use in environments and scenarios where versatility and low-profile operations are at a premium. The next vehicle we have, and I have to admit, this is a vehicle that I'm really excited to try out, is the Razorback. And this is something that you can like load things into the back of, like objectives, fusion coils if you're stupid enough, like broken off turrets, that kind of stuff. You can load that into the back, and I honestly cannot wait to see this in gameplay. Can't wait. This ought to be really fun to look at and to play with. But this vehicle is called the Razorback, the M15 light tactical vehicle. Originally a specialized offshoot of the traditional Warthog, the latest Razorback model is the result of a robust design study that incorporated learnings from rigorous testing programs on several virtually uncharted worlds. Even without on-board weapon systems installed, the upper armored design and increased payload capacity makes the Razorback an equally viable option on the battlefield alongside its more ambiguous porcine cousin. And I have to admit, the fact that you can, like, pack in 4 players on this thing, and we've seen 4 players, like, pack into this thing in gameplay, the fact that you can put that many players into this thing is just a great design choice and a great gameplay choice as well. Because if you got two like Razorbacks, you can get say for instance you're playing like a big team battle like capture the flag kind of thing. You get two Razorbacks, you've got like what, 2/3 of your team in vehicles heading towards the objective, while the other team hang back, try to protect like your flag, and the others kind of just go in for it. Go in for the other one. And I could see how we could have some absolute just stupid fun with this. And it looks amazing. And I'm not gonna lie, again, I'm not knocking the design of this. Do not take me wrong. But is anybody else seeing the front design kind of look like the Cybertruck that Elon Musk made? Am I the only one that sees that? That look like from like the first like third. The first third of the vehicle looks like a Cybertruck. I'm just saying. But again, not knocking it. The design looks very neat. I like it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we're going to be taking care of today. I believe either it's going to be tomorrow or whenever I can upload the next video, I'm going to take care of the AI portion of the lore. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all in the next one. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.